What's up, y'all? Okay, I had to make sure I'm looking at the right spot. I've been wanting to sit down and I don't know, I guess talk to y'all. Like, it's been a minute since I put like my last video up. Dang, what video was that? The story time, the Heartbreak Chronicles story time. I'm gonna talk some more about that, y'all. Like, I haven't forgotten, and I'm sure like the people who have seen it, like I heard that they loved it, and they want to know the rest of the story. So I got you. But yeah, it's been a long year, y'all. I have been done a lot of reflecting on like situations recently, and like with the women that I've dealt with, like that's really been like on my heart heavy. Like, I've learned so much. I've had to grow up so fast when it comes in terms of dealing with women. Like, throughout the past few years, like, it's crazy. Like, I never even thought that I would have been the person that I am right now, y'all. Like, it's crazy. Like, I know I've learned so much about toxic situations, like stuff that you just shouldn't allow yourself to put up with, as far in terms of like self-respect and self-love. Like, even when you like somebody a whole lot, like whether it's real, in y'all situation, but outside of that situation, like they're acting fake to like the rest of the world. So it's like, or it's real to you in a sense. So like, I've been just seeing a lot of situations where it comes to people being and like people kind of being fed up with one another. Excuse me. When it comes to like having like situations, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 situations. Like, and one of them wasn't a full blown like relationship. But I've had 3 situations. Well, I mean, I'm tripping. I just said 4. Did I just say 4? But y'all know I just counted in front of y'all. But yeah, I've had like particular situations, man. And it's like I've learned different things with every woman. Like, it's crazy, like how fast you'll grow up. Like, as long as like life is out here whooping your ass when it comes to like your relationships, you be going into the next one thinking like that you all the way ready, like you all the way lit, like you just know this shit. And then you get in there and you find that, it's some things that you overlooked that have gotten you involved in this current situation. And it's just some things that you just didn't see about yourself. And it's like that with every new situation. So it's like I've had like I could say one really good situation, like one really good relationship out of like all the women that I've like dealt with. So, and like me and that woman are still friends, and like usually me and my exes are like not all of them end on good terms, and we still be friends. But I got a couple of good like relationships that have survived like the test of time. But yeah, like, man, I was driving tonight, y'all know like how I feel about Her's music. I don't actually, well, my friends know how I feel about her music. Man, her be being so real, y'all. Like, I love when I'm just sitting in the moment and I'm just listening to what she's saying. I'm like, damn, I really feel that. Like, I know exactly how you feel in this situation right now. Y'all know, like, of course, like, I'm a Cancer, so like I respect Cancer music. Like, I respect a person, like, when they talk about their feelings, and I know where they're coming from because I've come from a similar place, and how I do things and how I approach situations, like, to me, it don't get no better at being emotionally vulnerable or showing like how your emotions flow through the way you communicate or your actions and stuff like that. Like, her got it down packed. Like, I really do feel like she make cancer music. So I was just listening to it tonight, and she it was one song. What is that song called? I heard so much of her music tonight. What was that song? Well, I can't particularly think of the title right now, because it's one that I like. I've kind of recently been listening to, but tonight I was really listening to it, and I like really paid attention to the words, and I love like when her, like, at the end of her songs, like, she'll either say a poem or you really just get to sit down and like listen to her talk. But the situation that she talked about was, I think this song was called "Good to Me." I think. Let me see. Her got a song called. Yeah, it is called "Good to Me." Good job. So, like, she was talking about like how a person can be good to you, and you'll be thinking like everything's good, like, but how is that person really invested like in you for real? Like, do they really like you? And how is it like when you're telling me one thing, like when I'm in front of you, like, you treating me good, like I'm right here in front of you, like you treat me good when I'm here, but like when I'm gone, or like when you don't see me, when I'm not around, like, how do you talk about me? Like, how do you what's the way you represent our interaction, with each other? So it reminded me of like a situation that I had not too long ago with a chick, man. I was talking to this girl for a minute. It was like on and off type thing, and it was one of the most dopest interactions like I've ever had in my life with a woman. Like, still, like, till this day. And so we'll talk all the time. Like, man, we'll talk sometimes from like sundown, sun up. Like, we've done that a few times. We'll be hanging out, man, talking for hours. Like, it's crazy. Not even glancing at the phone, just like talking to each other. And it felt so right. But it's like, in those situations, you can be really feeling like everything's going well for you, and the other person, they're doing everything right, and the person can still like pull it from up under you, even when you think that it's going so well. And I've had that happen to me. So, like, I understand what she meant when, she was like, did this person really have my back, like, when they're apart from me? And some people be wanting to appear, a certain type of way in front of other people and stuff like that. And I'm like unapologetically like who I am, like, and who I'm riding for. Like, I'm going to ride for them. Like, you going to know I'm going to ride for you. Like, all my friends know, like, if I'm down for you, I'm down for you. Like, fucking opinion. So that situation taught me to have like a whole lot more respect for myself and how I do things, because I really know now, like, without a doubt, like, if you you really do treat people how to treat you, and by that it's like the level of self-respect you have for yourself is what another person is going to go off. So if you allow a person to walk in and out of your life, all willy-nilly, and you accept that over and over again, then they grow to learn that that's like your level of respect for yourself. Like, a person can do this, this, and this. Or if a person is always expecting you to apologize about everything, and they're never wrong about anything, and you do that all the time, you're reaffirming that person that whatever they're doing is okay with you. So like I've just learned a whole bunch of things about self-respect and like what I will accept out of a woman and what I won't accept out of a woman. And you go into those situations and they hurt. When they don't work out, they do hurt. And the plus side is the lesson that you get out of it, because if you hadn't went through that situation or that hurt, then you probably wouldn't have elevated your standard of what you will accept that another person will bring, and also like the level of self-respect that you have for yourself. Like these situations have really taught me to like appreciate what I have going on and the man that I am, and to really love myself and to not accept anything less than the level of love and respect that I have for myself. Because if I do that, then a person is like going to feel like they can just walk all over me. So, and that's like in every situation. That goes with like business, that goes with family, that goes with friends. It's like, period. So you just gotta really have like your own back first. If you don't have your back, sometimes another person will, but ain't nobody gonna have your back like you have yourself. You can't be out here walking around letting another person's opinion of you validate your opinion of yourself. Because if you are dealing with somebody who constantly speaks down on you, or like when y'all good and everything all Gucci, but then when y'all get into it, then they want to point out like everything that they feel is flawed about you, and you take that to heart, you've allowed that person to like validate how you feel about yourself. And you have to be able to differentiate like what's real and what's not real. Like sometimes a person is just bullshitting, like they just want to just try to tear you down because of their own insecurities. And sometimes they are telling you the truth about yourself. And you have to be humble enough to hear those things and accept them and know the difference between the real and the fake. So I've definitely can say like I've built up so much respect and self-love for myself. Like it's crazy, like the level of standard that I have now. Like I'm not about to allow somebody just to walk into my life and just throw any level of toxicness all around and just think that I'm just going to accept it. You know, granted, we not perfect, but a healthy person is going to try their best to bring healthy situations to someone that they're dealing with. You know, they're not going to try to constantly have put a person in compromising positions, or, you know, never giving them a certain type of validation on where they're standing with them. It's a lot of things that go into like being toxic, and it's just a lot of games that people play. And I sit here and I see a lot of situations like all the time. Like if a person's level of self-respect was to be higher than like the bot mentality, because I feel like the bot mentality is vain at its core. Like I call people who operate on like, I guess the world's level of, what's the word I want to use? The world's level of consciousness. I call like those general type of people, I call them bots, because they typically are going to do like the regular things that people do that don't take any type of self-growth or any type of self-awareness or any type of self-love. Like, and it's not all about self, and I'm not saying self-love in the sense of selfishness, but self-love in a sense of gratitude and appreciation for what you have to offer genuinely, and what makes you you, and what makes you unique and separates you from the next person. So you have to really set a standard for yourself that's realistic and is honest to like what you can offer. So I've taken my fair share of L's when it comes to my relations with these women, and I'm not down to nobody or anything like that, because every situation was a lesson learned, and every situation was a building block for me to be who I am currently, right now, in this very moment. And so I've been that person to walk over a person and have no idea, like, how much regret I'm gonna feel later on. I've been that person to overlook somebody because I thought something else was better out there. I've had that situation. I've been that person to humble myself, to accept what I've done wrong and put it out there, and really humble myself and see who I was in that moment and evolve that, because it was toxic. And I feel like a lot of people's standard doesn't focus on getting what's toxic out the way. I think that they just generally tend to focus on looks and money. It's never really about the core of a person, or who this person really is, what they really have to offer. Because if you come with money or looks, both or either one, then a person usually will entertain you beyond, like, they'll entertain you beyond a level of self-respect and self-love for their own self, which is me saying that you cannot be the best person and you can still have a shot just because you come with a body, which is looks, or money, like the bag. Like, you can get my attention just because you offer that. And neither one of those two things says anything about character. So you just shouldn't be a bot. I hear your level of what you expect for yourself, or what you want for yourself, should be elevated, because at the end of the day, like I hear all the time, like, you all you got. Nobody gonna treat you better than you can treat yourself. So if you look around and you've always been in like abusive relationships, or you always chasing, somebody to the end of the world and they would never do the same for you, or you're allowing yourself to be in compromising situations just to keep that person around, all of that is like it's a reflection of a level of respect and self-love that you have for yourself. And I've come a long way, up out of those situations, because I've been the person who wanted, the girl who I supposedly had everything that I had in that moment. And it blew up in my face. So in order for me to not become a bitter person, and in order for me to grow from those situations, I had to, reflect on myself and see what was it that I was chasing in these women. What was it that I was overlooking that they were doing that could possibly come back in the future and blow up in my face, And, I'm probably talking in the sense of like a lot of emotional type of things right now, but I'm a water sign, so, this is what I do. We think about this type of stuff. So if you're dealing with a water sign, please believe that this type of shit be on our mind. Don't play yourself, because we will take shit personal and we will remember it. And, I guess once you do a certain amount, you up out of there. So, yeah, man, you don't want to hurt somebody, you don't want to damage somebody to a sense of like where their whole outlook on the next person is already fucked up just because of their past experience. Like, you want to have possibly the best healthy relationships that you can. And even though I'm saying like my self-love and my self-respect was heightened through situations that didn't work out for me, you still want to do your best to try to find a person who really has the ability to love themselves in a healthy manner. Because like false ego and everything that's most likely ego related that has to do with making somebody jealous or wanting to be seen just to make people envious and all that type of shit, like that's unhealthy. It's like unhealthy self-love. Like it's toxic. So people just gotta get more sensitive, man, to like the type of person that they really want to get a time to, you know. And I've come a long, long way. It's days where I can think back to when I was in college, and man, this girl, like, I thought she was so dope. I thought the outfits and everything was so cool. And I tried to talk to her, and I don't know, hung out with her. After that, she curved me. I didn't see it coming. Took me a little bit to get over it because I just didn't understand why you hang out with me and then kind of just be pushing me to the side. But then I stopped talking to her, and then some months went by, and then she was calling out my name when she seen me and everything. I'm like, but you just curved me like a few months ago. Why you calling out my name like we cool? And so ignorantly enough, when you want to give people multiple chances, when you feel like they're going to do different, most likely you end back up in the same place, which she did it again. The moment I gave her some attention, right back to overlooking me and you know, shit like that. So the best thing that I learned to do is to just look out for myself. If a person is acting a certain type of way, I'm not about to lose no level of self-respect for myself or self-love, which means that I'm watching every move you make. And if you make a move that's is seemingly trying to demean me in them type of ways, I'm just not going to entertain you. And that's just how it is. And it got to be like that, because whatever you let slip, that's the type of stuff that's going to come and cause problems in your relationship. And nobody's perfect. It's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, the healthier a person is, the better off your relationship is. Like, one girl who I hung out with her all the time. We was talking all the time. We rarely argue. Like, we really had any disagreements. Like, we never argue. She'll, like, get on my nerves with a few things, but it wasn't, like, no big deal, like, enough for me to want to get out of there, which is why, like, I liked her so much. She just was inconsistent. And see, you keep on dealing with somebody that's inconsistent, you already know they're inconsistent. So when they do it again, I mean, who could you really be mad at? You know, I'm sure, like, we had experiences in times that we shared, and you may feel like those times are special. But if a person is being inconsistent, come on, like, you gotta call it how you see it, you know. And I know everybody want to feel special, but that's just what it is. You just gotta elevate yourself. And so I'm gonna be writing music about a lot of those situations, because I have the raw emotion and passion that went with each of those experiences. And I feel like in her situation, I don't know all of her experiences, but her speaks on her situations very well. Like, it's God tier. Like, she really be going in with what she be talking about and how she expresses it. Like, it's like you right there living through it with her. But I've been through a lot of stuff, and it kind of taught me to put, since cancer kind of taught me to strengthen my shell and be inside of my shell, not to just drop it for anything. And I learned to self-heal, you know, and all that type of stuff. So you really gotta, when you're dealing with a person, you really should know who you're dealing with outside of, like, your emotions. Because if you don't know that, and the bad times come, or a person just up and act like they didn't have none of the experiences with you, you got to be ready for stuff like that, because people will switch up on you. But this is one thing that I feel like you can know. I feel like if you really sit back and get to know a person, talk to them, really think about what they're saying, because a person's who a person is always going to be shown. It's going to either come out with what they say or what they do. And trust me, like, you can see the signs. The signs are there. Us as being water signs, we're extremely intuitive. Them signs be there. But you gotta you gotta be patient. You can't just believe any and everything that you hear just because it's coming out of a person's mouth that you are attracted to or that you like or that you spend some time with. You really gotta let a person prove themselves to you. And if something not sitting right, then you probably need to pay that attention before you end up in a situation that could damage you. I don't really know what else I have to say about that. I just really been wanting to sit down and just talk to y'all about something, and I felt like tonight, like, this is what I felt like was like on my heart to talk about. And I'm sure I'll talk about stuff like this some more, but for right now, I just wanted to share that with y'all. I hope the information that I shared, I hope that it was useful to y'all in some way, and just take some time to think about like the stuff that I said, you know, that I shared. So, because if there's anything that I said that you can get out of that, like, self-love and self-respect are the two healthiest things you can do for yourself. They're the two healthiest things you can do for yourself, because they build your ego up in a correct way, and they teach you to see things that demean you. You know, so yeah, I guess this is gonna be it for this video. I hope y'all enjoy what I talked about. I'm gonna be, you know, sitting down and having more talks like this with y'all, you know, in the future. But I just wanted to get this off my heart, y'all, and give it to y'all, give y'all some food, feed y'all spirits, because y'all need to be out here living healthy lives. Man, it's too much bullshit running around out here and not enough self-love. So just think about that, y'all, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.